give me about 20 minutes of your day and I'm going to show you how you can take a selfie and turn it into simple cartoon art that you can repeatedly sell as commissioned work. So grab your iPad and your Apple Pencil and I'll see you inside.
You can do commission portraits on any digital software that has layers. So I'll be showing you this in Procreate today, but you can use these techniques in any drawing software. So first we would create a new canvas. I'm going to pick 11 by 14 inches. That should be plenty big, and you can make a custom package of sizes and you would price accordingly as well. But right now we're just going to go over the steps to go from selfie to cartoon portrait. So now that I have my canvas, what I would want to do is import the selfie that I received from my customers. And you can ask them, depending on what type of roles you would like to put in place, you can ask your customers for a headshot, and then you could just crop that down to right under the shoulders. Or you could ask them specifically for a headshot with just including the shoulders. So now that I've got my canvas, I'm going to go to my wrench icon and I'm going to go to add, and I'm going to go ahead and insert my photo, and that will either be in your files or your photos depending on where you put it. I'm going to grab that and I am going to zoom out so I can make this photo as large as possible. That way it takes up most of my canvas, and even if I shrink it down to a smaller size, it's still going to be a high quality image. I'm going to go ahead and go to my layers menu and go to multiply, and then I'm going to lower the opacity just so I can see the photo underneath, but it's not interrupting me doing drawing. And now I want to go in and change my background color slightly, just so we're not working on the bright white, because that can lead us to believe our image colors are a little different than they actually are. And now let's go ahead and add a new layer. And instead of using a sketch brush, I'm going to go ahead to my inking brush. I find this just saves me a little bit of time. I'll still go ahead and redraw once I have what I like, but I can already see what lines I like and what lines I don't. I'm going to use the syrup brush today, and you can do it in black. You really can do it in any color you want. I'm going to go ahead and do mine in red so you can see it. Okay, maybe hot pink. Let me change that because the shirt I'm wearing in this picture is kind of hot pink. Okay, so we have our selfie and we have our background changed a little bit. We've lowered the opacity on our selfie, and we've picked out a brush that we're going to use to sketch out our image. It's also not a bad idea at this point to make yourself a palette, and that way you're not trying to decide what colors. And I would create a small palette, only have a few variations of skin tones available, and then only like a couple of colors, a couple of base colors for outfits and such, and then just 1 to 2 shading colors and 1 highlighting color, because we want these to be simple. Now your art style may vary, so like if you do black and white cartoon style, then obviously you would only do black and white. It's really, this is where you could choose yourself, but you really just, you don't want to make it overly complicated, and you don't want to pick a lot of extra colors. So I'm going to use the purple and the lighter yellow for my highlight, and I've got a pink for my shirt. I've got a skin tone. It might not be the exact right color, but I can go in and tweak that a little bit. It might be actually pink, I can't tell from here. And then I just need to add a hair color. Okay. Do this and go over here, just in case. All right, let me repick that red and let's get started. I always like to double check and make sure I'm on the right layer because I have not been a lot of times. And I am simply going to go in and start blocking out. I'm going to start tracing, but I'm going to over exaggerate. I'm going to start with my head, go down to my neck, shoulder area, block in the clothing, and then the hair. And now I'm going to get a smaller size and I'm going to do the features. A little bit bigger for the eyebrows. And this is where you can really make it your own. And put in some stylistic choices for eyes. I did one with different eyes earlier and I just didn't like it near as well, so I like the dots. Okay, so now that I have these basics, I am just gonna add another layer, turn off my photo, and I'm gonna multiply, lower the opacity. Well, helps if I'm on the right layer. All right, let me get my sketch. Now let me go to multiply and lower my opacity. And now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do a bold black and finish my outline. And in this step, I may exaggerate a little more. In this step, I want to be very careful to connect all my lines so I can simply color drop my color flats once I get to that step. And you can vary the line weight here, keep it all the same weights. Oops. Ideally, you are moving along in one fluid motion, not a lot of start and stops, which I'm having a little bit of trouble with. And this is like the third time I've drawn this today. Different variations. So for her face, what I actually want to do is make my pen size smaller, brush size. And now I'm going to turn off my initial sketch and see what it looks like. Okay, I'm just going to zoom in and clean up some of these lines if I have any overlap. And get rid of those. Make sure everything is connected. Okay. Now we're going to turn this line art into a reference layer. Add a new layer, put it underneath our line art, and we're going to go to our color palette. We're going to bring it over here so it'll stay on the screen, and we're going to quickly drop in our colors. That's a choice. I'm going to switch brushes and give her some cheeks. Okay. I'm going to add another layer and put it below her. And I'm going to pick the hard brush in the airbrushing menu. Okay. So you will want to pick the side that your shadow is going to be on. Make sure I'm on the right layer. And I'm just going to say, hey, my sun's coming from here. Which means I would have some shadow in this area. Under here. Grab a little bit over here. Maybe a little here. Okay. Now let's go play with the different color effects. There's normal, which I kind of like normal just fine. And you can change how bold that shadow is. Now we're going to do a new layer. And I'm going to bring this one above my colors. And pick my light yellow. And my sun's coming from here. So I'm just going to do some highlights right through here. You'll see. Go ahead and start. I was thinking about my highlights and I picked up my brush, and as you can see, this color builds. Okay, I'm also going to go back and pick my purple again for my shadows and add some shadow under her neck. Bit on the bottom of her hair. Oops. Maybe smaller. Yeah. Edge of her hair. Okay, now let's go to our layer menu again and play with our blend modes. Whoops. let's play with opacity. Okay. So some of these are really contrasting and I would not recommend. And then some of them take out like your shadows completely, so you wouldn't want to use that either. So there's normal. I actually think normal works the best in this instance. So I'm gonna go to smudge and just slightly blend it. And I'm gonna make circular strokes. Well, let's make sure we're it's not actually changing brushes. So sometimes you need to check. Okay. I don't want it to really look airbrushed out, so I'm trying to be pretty gentle. Very light pressure. I'm actually gonna lower the opacity. Just blend out these hard lines just a little, unless you like the hard lines. Then you definitely want to leave them. I want it to look a little more natural. I like the hard line on her hair. I'm going to leave that. Not so much on the skin. And I think I'm actually going to go ahead and do a clipping mask so I don't have random stuff out here in the air. I actually think I like the hard line on her shoulder, so what I'm going to do is go in with my eraser and try to bring back a bit of a sharper line. What do I have in my original brush? Let's go back to that hard airbrush. Just try to gently. I'm going to do the same to her neck. And then maybe around here on her shirt. Okay. I think that'll do. So now what I want to do is go ahead and select these layers and make them a little bit smaller. Go ahead and bring her down. So I have a little extra space because I want to add a little to the back. Go ahead and do a new layer. Those guys. And let's just pick, let's go to Harmony and let's get a green. Go back to my syrup brush. I'm gonna go to my recents. And just add a shape. And I'm gonna go down to the bottom here and close this guy in. Go ahead and make this a reference layer. Then we can close it in. Now, it is kind of taking over our shadows, so what we can do as well is lighten it, darken it, and we can also play with the blending modes on it. So let's do that, because blending modes are fun. I kind of like the hard light. Ooh, the vivid's fun. is hard light. I think I like hue the best. And what you could actually do at this point, because she is kind of blending into the background quite a bit, you could go in and add an outline. Around your outline, you could add in some texture. Let's do that real quick. Not sure if we've already passed the timer. Here, I know I have a stamp here. So if you wanted to add some texture at this point, or give your customer some accessory options or some pattern options, you could add an additional layer. And I've got my layer underneath, just smaller. I think I actually like it better without. Yeah, I don't like those at all. And at the end, if you wanted to change out the background color, that's it for a basic portrait. You can add bonus accessories, textures. You know, pick something that you want to be known for and add it to their options, but you just really want to limit options. That way they're not overwhelmed and you're not overwhelmed. If you guys liked this content, make sure you like and subscribe and let me know what you'd like to see next. And I'm actually in the process of creating a membership that's going to walk you step by step through a monthly project, from artwork to keyword research to wrapping up your product with a bow. So definitely subscribe and stay tuned if you're interested in something like that. All right, I'll see you again real soon.